Alright, so this is a UGC Silver Highlander scrim. I'm looking mostly at the point of view for blue team here, and I'm gonna take a look to see what they're doing wrong. So Demo's rolling out, he's completely destroyed on his rollout, gets to mid with only 120 hit points. Med's beam should immediately be on the Demo, not the sniper. The Demo needs as much health as he can when you get to mid so you can start taking ground. So right along, their mid goes down. Now, this would be a free sign for you to get right on mid, but there's nobody supporting your Demo and he's died because of that. So, you guys are right on mid, they're 4 up. Now this would be a sign I would probably, take the heavy and the soldier, leave the scout behind like they are now, get right on second. But, if anything from the first half shows, they're gonna stick right in lobby here and not get on the point. See, the heavy's peeking on second. Med's gonna go in with a heavy, probably Uber very soon here. And I see their combo's in, they're Ubering. But there's a couple things behind them. Probably should have the heavy turnaround. But the med's gonna bait the heavy and let him die here. Oh. The heavy gets out, so that was a pretty good second push at least. A little sloppy, maybe a little slow, but they're taking a lot more ground with their Ubers in the second half, which is what I like to see. Most teams aren't doing that in lower divisions. So, what blue team should be focusing now is red team has an Uber, they're holding very closely. This would be a time where I'd probably tell my combo to hold back just a little bit and have her flank covering the flank. Because their combo is looking like they're going to Uber really quickly here, but I'm pretty sure that they're not really aware they have too much of an advantage. But red team's losing their advantage to blue team, which is letting them hold on to their ground. So, nice little exchange here, good solo on the Demo, good flash on the heavy. Not letting red team do anything with their Uber here. The med's gonna go down to the spy. So, most of what went wrong there was they were holding too close during the Uber exchange. Typically when you're in an Uber, I guess, when Ubers are even, you want to hold a little further back so this way you can have time to retreat if the post-Uber fight doesn't go too well. The post-Uber fight didn't go too well, which happens, but if it's not going well, you want to make sure you have the position to back out rather than just stay in and die. Because the red team's going to have a big advantage here and blue team's probably not going to hold on for mid. But Heavy's doing some nice work here in lobby, gets a couple of good picks. Their team's 4 up, so your team should probably be moving in lobby right now, especially since the med went down. So med goes down, you guys are on second. Now, they're 3 up, so this should be a free last. I see blue team swapped over to crits. And you guys take the point. So, a lot of good usage of your Ubers there. It's a lot of what I like to see. Definitely using your Ubers to take a lot of ground, not letting them hold on to theirs. And it looks like that committing a little more is working out well for blue. So, blue team's a little fast to mid here, which is fine. Pyro and Heavy are forward, taking a lot of damage. They're by themselves. But their Demo and Sniper are down, so this should be a free mid. Even though your Sniper is going down, you guys are getting numbers here, but you aren't on the point, which is really disappointing. You guys should be taking more ground considering how many numbers you have here. And it guys took you so long to get mid here. Really should have acted a lot faster on that. You guys could have been at second already. So, Walking right past a trap, your med's not with you. Your med has to use that Uber because I'm assuming nobody called that trap for her. Either that or nobody was willing to do anything about it. So, complete waste of an Uber advantage here. Red team's gonna get the Uber and probably push on your second not too long here. So it's fine that you guys are holding this far back, given that they've got the Uber advantage. And right now what blue team should be doing is considering working picks. You want to work some picks here, so this way, even with their Uber advantage, it'll slow them down before they decide to push. But red team's not really too confident in their pushing out here, because they're taking a lot of damage, but they're not really committing to any fights. You could use that to your advantage by pushing their flank, but that'd be kind of risque. So, Demo should have died there. Their Demo was out for at least a few good seconds, so totally alone. So, Blue's medic and Demo completely overextended, and the med dies because of that. Typically, when it's just you two and an Uber there, you'll want to back out as soon as you can. No, you might not be able to escape, but you should at least make that attempt, because it doesn't seem like Red Team would have been able to follow up or at least chase you out hard enough to have killed you, had you been trying to run. So, you guys lost your numbers there, used your Uber a little too soon to get out, or a little too late to get out. If they had used their Uber and you were down on numbers, I would have used my Uber to get out just a little sooner. Now your team's starting to lose its composure. Your Demo was so far behind, you guys didn't give them any room to catch up. The Demo's got some traps up, goes out. I like that your Demo's trapping out. Your soldier's sort of holding that corner by himself. Red team overall doesn't seem like they're doing too well here. Red team's having a lot of momentum issues, and their combo doesn't seem too confident about where they want to be. But we're focusing on blue team here. So, Kaleidoscope is dying a lot. I can't tell if that was to the sniper this past time, but you guys are losing a lot of time just by letting your med die so much. You probably want to get more control over that sniper because you're giving red free Ubers. So, red team's completely extended into your combo, your Demo was overextended there. Try not to let your Demo overextend. So, with how hurt that med was, your heavy should be yelling at your scout to have chased that med, because that med's gonna get out totally free. Rather than fighting that scout, your scout should have just chased their med and let your and you should have let the rest of your team deal with the scout. So, we're gonna have a slight advantage here, but your med's about to die to this Demo. Once again, things like that can happen before team composure, where your entire team should be pushing forward, but instead, what you're doing is you're just sort of sending a couple players in while the rest of your team lags behind. When you're pushing an unfamiliar territory, or if you're not sure where their team is, you should always have a good amount of players, so this way, if something manages to ambush or surprise you, you'll have something for your medic to fall behind, and your med was too far forward for anybody else to do anything about that. So you're defending second here. Their med narrowly gets almost dropped. So, red's wasted their Uber. Blue should be holding back now, just anticipating the post-Uber lead-ins. So their Pyro's in, their Pyro dies. Their team's 4 up, so once I get my Demo and my soldier up, which my soldier's already at the point, this would be a good time for you guys just to get back on second and even extend into mid, because they're 2 up. So you should already be at mid at this point. We've got 4 players on mid, which is fine. So you guys are taking mid, but with the advantage you've been given, I would say you could use that to take even more ground and get into lobby. Spy is right on the med. Heavy's gonna catch that. So you guys are sitting on an Uber advantage here, and it's gonna go to waste. I'm looking at that just because your meta was the first into lobby. You guys are gonna solo into second. Soloing into second would have been fine, but since you were really slow to get all your other players into second, your med's about to die. Like that. You want to push with all of your numbers, not just one of them. You know, make sure everybody's around the point for you to push in before you push in. I do like that you're trying to be more aggressive there, but you don't want to risk lives over being aggressive if you can help it. Try to make sure that there's enough people around you so that you can commit to that push. You only had your demo and your heavy around you, and none of your other classes were really able to get into second before you push there. So you're here in lobby again. You guys could actually be fully committed into lobby. It's just your soldier, and nothing else is really stopping you from getting in there. Because what I'm noticing is your med really wants to be in lobby, but your demo and heavy are too afraid to peek that sniper. As far as your heavy goes, your heavy has 300 health, so it's very unlikely that the sniper's actually going to headshot you. Use that to your advantage to let your team take a little more ground by getting your heavy forward. So, at this point, it's going to get a little stalematey. Ubers are just about even. And no team is really too confident about what they want to do. So it's at this point where you really just need to work picks. So sniper goes down, and they don't have a spy up right now. I can't say that would be enough to push, but their pyro goes down, so I would definitely tell your team to get in now, because there would be nothing trying to stuff you. Now your combo's getting on the point, and you're taking care of things as they get behind you. So there's 3 up. You guys should already be on last. You should have just had one person capping and let everybody commit to last, because they wouldn't have enough numbers to stop your team from committing. But you guys are going to slowly lag in and not cap last because of that. Oh. Guess their team's really slacking. Red's not working too hard here to defend their ground. But you guys are already taking 2 rounds in 15 minutes, which is a sizable improvement over this first half. So this is a really gray area mid here. So they've got 4 down now. This is where I would probably have my team get on point. Or even get into second now. They've lost so many numbers, they barely have a combo. That goes down to the sniper. You probably could have mitigated that happening if you had just walked right into second. Snipers are more threatening at a distance than they are at close range. But I definitely would have used that number advantage, and even to some extent probably a bit of Uber advantage to get into lobby there. They had 4 up for a very long time, and you guys could have taken lobby pretty easily there. But you guys waited a little too long, and the sniper got a couple of picks. So right now their mid's holding on an Uber advantage. And your NG surprisingly forces their medic. And I'd say good job on your NG there, but red team's not feeling too confident about their play. So your med's alone and under. Really want to put some more bodies by her when she gets separated from your combo like that. She could have died to the demo there. So your team's losing a little more composure here. You guys are starting to bleed numbers. Don't do that. I just like how weirdly forward your NG is. Your NG is doing a lot of work. Should probably have a combo NG, would work pretty well here considering how aggressive your NG likes to play. Those aggressive minis could actually help you guys get a little more ground. So their med goes down to a nice reflect off your pyro. But your sniper goes down. I'd probably use the heal advantage to at least try to get into lobby. Because their team doesn't have heals right now, and you guys have significant numbers. You'd probably want to start pushing out right about now. Those teams aren't going to be willing to stay in when they don't have the healing advantage. But I guess there'd be nothing wrong holding on to last with an Uber advantage. You guys are up 2 rounds, and in a match, that would probably be a practical strategy. So they're starting to push in, and I do like that you guys aren't holding lobby 2 exclusively. Their combos rotating all over the place, and I like that your combos sort of taking that middle ground to where they can get to where their combo is pretty quickly. So you guys fire on off an Uber here because you're walking across a sticky trap. Totally fine, but you guys are gonna totally lose your last because you just wasted your Uber. So their pyro comes in, does a bunch of damage to your heavy. And they're gonna work that Uber advantage and they're gonna kill your med. Yeah, their demo seems to be focusing your medic a lot, so that might actually have just cost them this last fight because they're gonna bleed in numbers. So yeah. Their demo focused your medic so hard with that Uber, he was too busy not looking at other things. You guys just got lucky there. So, knowing that their team probably almost just died, this would be a good time for you guys to take second. Heavy spots the teleporter, which is smart. I wouldn't waste time camping it, their team's not going to be dumb enough to take the teleporter. They just might be. So, their team holds on to second. You guys didn't mobilize numbers fast enough onto second. See, with 10 minutes left in the round, Spy almost gets the back cap. But they're gonna try for a wrap play now through lobby. Which isn't gonna work because their team's really slow. See, their heavy goes down, I would immediately try to get onto second then. They're down power classes, and now they're down heals again. They're even down a sniper, so they're 4 up. This would be the time where you just want to sit 1 or 2 people on last and just push into second. They don't have enough numbers to stop you from getting in on second. But I don't like that your sniper is just, okay, your NG's here. So, you guys Uber onto second. You don't really do anything with it because you didn't need to Uber. There was nothing. Oh, Spy's right on you. So, let's see. Best explanation about what was going wrong here is you guys were bleeding a lot of numbers and walking in really slowly. But their combo's extended into you, and that demo's gonna try to kill your med. Yeah. The demo's really focused on killing your medic, so The best way to work around that would be just to have something focusing their demo. Their demo doesn't seem really concerned about shooting or anything else, so if you have something focusing their demo's going to be dead a lot more often. And a dead demo is a bad demo. But a lot of the times it seems like they're losing uber advantage here, and you guys aren't really tempted to do much about that. So you probably want to start mobilizing a little faster, often, like call med's dead or demo's dead, so this way you can start getting numbers out on the point a lot more quickly instead of just lagging in pretty slowly like you have been these last few minutes. So, you guys are trying to take a lot of room in left here. I'd probably just keep your heavy spun up looking at that door. So, their demo's in here alone. Their demo should be dead. My god. Your engineer is a champion, he really is. So, your demo gets body blocked in there, there's not much your medic can do about that, but I do like that your medic backed up here. Because it'd be better to at least keep that healing advantage on last. So once again, red's at 5 up, and you guys aren't really mobilizing any numbers off of that. That's a consistent issue I'm noticing here with your last, is that you guys are getting a lot of numbers down in the post-uber fight. You should be taking ground with that, not sitting behind. Because that's going to give them a lot of a chance to get spawns up, especially since they have a teleporter. So, in that post-uber fight, if it goes well, you'll definitely want to work on mobilizing a lot more quickly. Because you can mobilize off having numbers. Because if they're 4 up and they're holding on to second, just sort of like 6 or 7 manning through onto second is going to force them to back up, because no team's going to just bleed numbers into sitting in. Once again, you guys managed to bleed in so hard that something just comes in and kills your mid. So definitely work on more solid pushes into second. Because these really sort of, like liquidy, bloody pushes, they're not doing too much for your team, and they're hindering it so that you guys aren't going to be able to hold on to any ground you're taking. Especially when their team is on the offensive. So, 7 minutes left. You guys haven't taken another round yet, but you guys seem to be getting really bored. So, their demo is extending into you. That should be, kill the demo goes down, sort of a thing. Now the heavy's working into lobby alone. Should probably be with them, but the spy's right behind you and you don't even notice. And you guys waste so much effort on chasing that spy, you're actually about to give up second. So... Wow, red team was really slow there. Red team could have gotten a free second off you there. But be careful if you go back that far, because you're basically taking any presence away from the point. So, sniper's looking right at your med. You're not really calling or doing anything about that. That's dangerous territory to be walking on. Somebody should be looking for that sniper dot most of the time. So, their team gets the uber off. Your team has the better uber. You should probably be putting a little bit on your pyro, or maybe your scout. But sort of back off, which is fine. But you probably could have kept that second there if you kept the uber on your heavy. You know, there'd be nothing wrong with having flashed your pyro or your scout, but you sort of left your heavy, and you baited your heavy. And their team's gonna get a free last because of that. I don't know. Good pick by your spy to get the med. So you guys should be able to get numbers back on second here pretty quickly. Because their med goes down, you guys will have the nice Uber advantage. So you guys are building, spies walking right up to your med. That's one thing, is nothing should be walking directly to your mid, especially facing your mid. But that's a spy sense thing you'd have to counter there. I'm not sure who's the primary spy checker for your team, but definitely keep in mind that anything that walks towards your med should either be a heavy or a demo. Anything else walking directly towards your medic is probably a spy. So they're gonna get a free last off of that push, and there's not much you can do about it. Oh. So with 3 minutes left, it's hard to say what you're gonna do at this mid here. So let's watch. You guys are up 1 round, so you'd have to pretty much throw to lose this scrim at this point. Biggest thing you should focus on, though, is stop bleeding later in the game. So Demo jumps at mid, Demo goes down, you're down a pyro. I'd probably work your sniper in to get a pick or two, and then just go on mid. And sniper does get that pick, so you guys should be on mid right now. Sort of bleed numbers, and the spy gets you. Once again, you might have taken mid there if you guys had been a little more solidly coordinated, but since your med went down, it's really hard to say what stopped that mid from happening. So, you guys are 4 up, their team's gonna push right into second. You probably just want to commit to holding last at this point. But you guys are gonna contest second, which isn't the worst thing you can do. Their med goes down, so I'd especially work my numbers in on second. Kill that spy. Yeah, they're 3 down. You guys are 7 up. Now 6 up. Oh, their demo goes down. You hit your demo, that should be a free second for you. But once again, you guys sort of wait a little too long. You're more committed to holding last. You probably could have gotten that second there. Because it was at least a good 25 seconds before they were able to get their combo back onto second. I see. You guys were waiting for the Uber advantage. Waiting for that Uber to push back in a second isn't a bad idea, but you should try being a little risky and sometimes just going without it. Because by waiting for that Uber advantage, you had a sort of sloppy, really laggy push there. And you're just bleeding in numbers, which is going to let Red get a free last. A lot of what I think you're doing there is you're really panicking. And the easiest thing to say is that when you're low on numbers like that, don't panic. You know, a panic sort of out of last push there was what happened, and you guys were really bleedy because of that. And when you bleed an out of last push like that, it's gonna always be a bad push, no matter how hard you try. So, with that in mind, that about wraps this up. This has been me, Uber, the person, the everything main. And for what it's worth, I definitely saw a lot of improvement here, but The biggest issues are going to surround mostly your bleeding in, definitely a lot of lagging here, and solidarity in general is a consistent theme with 5CP. You want to push in with a lot of numbers, you don't just want to have one or two people go in, but you want to sort of 6-man through 1 point, maybe 5-man, but you want to have a lot of numbers going at once, not just 2 or 3. So commit more numbers to your pushes there, and you'll see a lot more success.